Hello, my name is Tony Berard, and I'm here to talk today about Modern Colors Bridge. It's a new card game I invented, and it's available on the Game Crafter website. Over here, if you go to tidesandbarbs.com, eventually we'll be hosting this game. And you can get a physical copy of this game at www.thegamecrafter.com. When you order a copy, you'll get this. This is the box it comes in. It's the top of the box, actually. This here is a bidding mat. They look like this. You get 6 of these. And the sides of the box show the title of the game. Modern Colors Bridge, a new card game by Tony Berard. That's me. And this is the side of the box, or the end of the box. Modern Colors Bridge, a new card game. Bridge is played by 2 teams of 2, so a total of 4 people will play bridge. And it uses the standard deck. This card game uses the ColorsRSP Deck, which this comes in the box. You get the ColorsRSP Deck, invented by Tony Berard. That's me. So, I've made a video about this deck of cards. You know, you get, this would be the green rock. This is, it's orange scissors. This is the red paper. You know, there's 6 suits. These are the 6 suits. Blue, purple, orange, red, yellow, and green. And in the part 1 of this video for Modern Colors Bridge, I showed what these dice are. This white die is the conflict resolution die, and the other dice belong to the various players. Red is in the game, a person representing red, a player representing orange, a player representing blue, and so on around the color wheel. Red, yellow, and blue are the primary colors team, and orange, green, and purple are the secondary colors team. And so each player will get a little mat like this, a bidding mat, and they will place their die for stage 1 bidding and stage 2 bidding. If they want a trump suit, they'll put it on one of the colors. If they don't want a trump suit, then they'll put it here in the middle. This white area in the middle means no trump. And so, also when you go to thegamecrafter.com and you order a set of this, not only do you get the contents of this box, but you get this file. Actually, it's available for free download. This is a little paper I wrote. It's 8 pages by me, and I go through, you know, quite the introduction. I show the equipment, which is just what I said here. You get this deck of cards, you get the bidding mats, you get the dice, and you also get this file. Alright, so once stage 2, the stage 2 bidding is done, or only stage 1 bidding if somebody wins the round 1 bidding by going alone, that's the only way stage 2 bidding does not come about. If someone in stage 1 bids to do it alone, then the 2 partners for that person will keep their cards hidden, and the alone person will play against the other 3 people. And in normal bridge, the person going alone is actually going to be playing the other 2 people's cards. And those 2 people's cards get turned up so that everybody can see them. But the order of the cards being played is by one person, the person that declared alone. That's not really alone. That's using all the cards of the opponent. And so this alone really is alone. It means alone. So there is some changes that I made to this game over regular bridge. All right, and so I talk about the two-stage bid in this paper, and then here I show a picture of the bidding mat. I printed this out with a black and white printer, but this is actually going to look like this, you know, in the diagram that you print if you print it from a color printer. And then it shows the bidding is now closed, and then we decide who wins the contract. There's 4 layers to the bidding. The lowest level is team with a trump declaration. The next highest is a team without a trump declaration. Then there's the alone bidding. There's alone with a trump declaration, and then there's alone without a trump declaration. Those are the 4 levels. So if there's ties in the bidding as far as the amount of tricks that the person thinks their team will take or an individual will take, the ties are broken with that. If there's still ties, then if the dealer's involved in a tie, then the dealer wins. If there's not a dealer involved in the tie, then that's what this guy is for. I explained in the paper how to resolve a 2-player and a 3-player dispute. So, all right, then we get to the play. So now we have the trump declarations, and we know who won the contract. The trump declarations, if one person bid no trump, then there'll be 2 trump suits. If 2 people bid no trump, then there's 1 trump suit. If all 3 said no trump, then there's no trump. And there's higher scoring for the more non-trump suits there are. Usually there will be 3 trump declarations. The person who won the contract is that's going to be the top trump suit. Then next below that is that teammate who declared the next highest bidding. If there's a tie between those 2, since they're not the bidder, there needs to be a dispute resolved. So this white die will resolve that. Since it's only 2 players, you can do high and low. So one person will take the white die, and the other person will call high or low. Low is 1, 2, 3. High is 4, 5, 6. 1 roll of the die is all that's needed. It's a perfectly fair assessment. And so then whoever is the second player gets to declare the second trump suit. And when they bid, you know, whatever their second stage bid was on yellow, then the second trump suit will be yellow. If their second stage bid was on purple, then purple is the secondary trump suit. Then there's the lowest level trump suit, which obviously would fall to the third person. So usually there's going to be 3 trump suits in that order. And so the player that wins the contract gets this huge advantage of his teammates and himself have the better part of the trump cards. So they better win. So they have that advantage. So it's important to win the contract, but you can't overbid. Just because you have those advantages doesn't mean the other team can't play well, and you know they might discard their cards in a strategic way, and then they have 1 or 2 trump cards that the team that won the contract don't have anymore at the end. That could very well happen, and they could lose the final tricks, and they might not satisfy the contract. And there's points to be assessed, you know, for fulfilling the contract, and then the other team gets points if the team that got the contract does not fulfill it. So it's quite a tense battle. Another difference between regular bridge and this bridge game is that all the players can pass. If they don't like their cards, they can pass. In this game, because there's a 2-stage bidding with these mats, the first stage bidding reveals quite a bit about the other player's hands. And so the better players can read that. how their own team is doing and how they are doing, and they can get better bidding by so-called reading the tea leaves. And so that's an important difference. And so every hand that's dealt will be played in Modern Colors Bridge. So I made a number of differences between regular bridge and this bridge game. And it's all for the better, in my opinion. I'm the inventor, so hopefully I'm right. I should be right. I've been inventing board games for about 30 years now, and I've only recently gotten into card games, but I'm finding it requires the same mental processes. And so I think I have the experience from my board game past to invent good quality card games like Modern Colors Bridge. Okay, so then we talk about the play. The play is right there. And then I show in the paper how to score the hand. It's not much math, but a little bit. And then, and so you play the different cards. Like say, one player leads with, so if somebody leads with the purple rock, and it's the top trump suit, the only thing that can beat it is the purple ace. If that person played it in the previous round, then they know that the purple rock can't be beat. Oh, the purple paper can also beat the purple rock. But by playing purple ace, then the other players have to, if they have purple cards, they have to play them. They can't hold on to them. Just like in regular bridge, the leading suit has to be followed if you have it. And if you create a game infraction by withholding that and you play it later, if somebody notices that you did that game infraction, then there's a penalty. And in this paper, at the last page, I talk about a breach of protocols. And so there's a penalty that is assessed. And I have an appendix, how you can declare a loan, the ranking of the bids. That's the 4 things I talked about. First bid protocols. And then playing an illegal card. I talked about these different things. And then, let's see. So then the play goes around, and each player that wins the trick takes the trick, and they're the next leader for the next card to be played. And they're whatever they lead with, that's the lead suit. And then it just goes around like that until all 9 cards are played. And then the teams count up how many tricks they took, and then they see if the contract was fulfilled or not. And then that's how then all that comes into play for scoring the hand. And then you rotate the deal. So red starts and it rotates clockwise around. Orange will be next. Yellow will be after that. And so when all players have dealt 2 hands, then that'll be 12 hands played, and that'll end the game. And then you score up all the points earned by the 2 teams, and that's it. And it shows how to do that in this paper. The other thing covered in this paper is how you can play with 2 or 3 players. There's some slight modifications to the rules, obviously, but mainly I just want to say, if you play with 2 players, you only deal 2 hands. That will exhaust 2/3 of the deck, and the 1/3 of the deck that's left just gets reshuffled for the next person to deal out 2 hands. And so each player will deal 3 times with 2 players. And with 3 players, each player will deal 2 times because you will exhaust the deck. I go into that withholding of the last hand for 2 players because if you're playing against artificial intelligence, it's going to know exactly what's in your hand. Like, it does better than card counting. It knows exactly what was played. And so in the final hand, it's going to know exactly what you have. and that's an unfair advantage. People don't memorize that well. Well, I exceeded 15 minutes. I wonder if this is going to let me upload it. Well, anyway, this is that was all I wanted to cover. This is Tony Berard signing off.